If I asked you to solve a math problem, 2 plus 2, you could just tell me the answer. But if I asked you to solve a math problem of 387 divided by 291, you might need to take out a pen and a piece of paper and solve the problem. Now, that's just a pretty standard math equation, and we need a paper and pen to solve it. But when it comes to your own life, you don't take the time to take a pen and paper and try to figure out your own life. Every single person is trying to figure out everything inside their own head. And just like a math equation, it's going to be really difficult to solve a really big problem just inside of your mind. And so taking the time to write out your thoughts, to write out your story, to write out your problems is such a powerful and transformative tool. I personally have been writing for as long as I can remember. I have many different journals, many different books that I write in, just trying to understand myself, trying to understand the mystery of life, trying to piece everything together. This is why it's imperative that if you're trying to solve a problem in your life, that you take out a pen and a piece of paper. Writing on the computer can be good as well, but there is something about the small motor movements that really allow the brain to think and move in a different way. As part of my studies, I learned that one of the ways that our soul can communicate with us is through writing. Not writing on the computer, but writing with a pen and piece of paper. The problem that I see with so many of us is we're looking for some kind of guidance. We're looking for some kind of assistance, and we're trying to figure it out all in our mind, which our mind is extremely powerful, but it's not always the best tool for these situations. It's difficult to see yourself outside of yourself. It is possible, but it is difficult without. This is why I encourage all of my clients to write. I encourage everybody to write every day. And I'm going to give you 3 things that you can start writing today that will change your life. Now, I know when people say that it sounds grandiose, but in this instance, it's very true. I've done it, my clients have done it, and it always works well. The only way to get true direction is looking within, is understanding yourself, because we're all searching in some sense for a meaning of life, a meaning of purpose. And the truth is that you are the meaning of life. You are your purpose. So your mission in life is to be the most you that you can be. And to be the most you, you have to understand you. You have to understand your passions, your drives, your motives, your fears, your own story, and learn to transcend that story and then build towards a better future. So here are 3 questions that you can start writing down today, and it will completely change your life. The caveat is that you have to do it every day. If you don't do it every day, it's not going to work. And you have to follow these steps. So here are the 3 questions. Number 1, what filled me with enthusiasm? What drained me of energy? And what did I learn? That's it, 3 simple questions. It will give profound insights into you and your current life, and what the things you are doing that's helping you and what are the things you're doing that's hindering you. You have to answer those questions every single day at the end of the day, and don't try to edit them too much. Don't read them and think about it and put tons and tons of time and effort into it. The idea is to just get it out without too much filtering, without too much editing, and then move on. And you're going to do this every single day for 29 days, and you're not going to read them. You're just going to write them and leave them. But on the 30th day, you're going to take that little book that you've written all these things in. You're going to go somewhere different, to a coffee shop or to a park or to the beach or wherever, somewhere peaceful, somewhere different, and you're going to read all of them. And you can leave a comment or you can message me, whatever you want to do, and tell me that it hasn't really provided some deep, profound insight into yourself. This is why I love writing, because you can write something that you didn't know. How? How is that possible that you write something that you didn't know about? Because you have different brains, the subconscious, the conscious, the superconscious. You have all these different parts of yourself. If the part of you that's hungry is the different to the part of you that's angry, to the part of you that's in love, to the part of you that's in mourning. They're different parts, but it's all you. The mission of each human being is to interweave these parts back together, to become whole, to self-actualize, so that you can enact the greatest gifts that you've been given here on earth. And so your psyche has been scattered over your life. And it's your mission to reclaim these different parts of yourself, to put yourself back together, to make room for all of these parts. Hey, that part of me that gets angry, I still love that part of me. I still accept that part of me. Hey, that part of me that hurt itself, I still love that part of me. I still integrate that part of me. Make room for all these parts. When we're young and we get told don't be angry or don't cry, or we get made to feel shame, we exclude those parts of us. No, the part of me that's angry, that's not okay. So we exclude a part of us. That's a real part of you. And that part, the more it gets excluded and pushed away, the bigger it gets. And so people flip out and go crazy when they're angry. Well, it's because they're repressing different parts of themselves. And remember, the opposite of repression is expression. The opposite of depression is expression. And so we need to start to express. So expressing your emotions in a healthy way will help us to integrate these parts of ourselves. Remember, your emotions are true. Whatever you're feeling is true, but why you are feeling them is always wrong. The story we tell ourselves about the emotion is what perpetuates the emotion. So what you're feeling is true, why you're feeling it is false. And that's the part that you can change, but you have to still feel those emotions. So writing is still a great way to start to feel those emotions and to start to work with those different parts of you, to show them that, hey, I see you, I recognize you, you have space here, and you are accepted. And until we do this, those parts of us will continue to lead our life, and usually it sabotages our life. Like Carl Jung said, until you meet the unconscious on the inside, you will continue to meet it on the outside, and you will call it fate. I've thought about that sentence for a very long time. It's the most powerful transformative thing, because these unconscious parts of you, these repressed parts, the shadow of yourself, is what's actually leading your life, because 95 to 97%, depending on which research you read, say that 95 to 97% of us is unconscious. So only 3 to 5% of you is conscious. So all of those repressed parts, all of those doubts, fears, shames, guilts, those stories, that's directing your life. 95 to 97% of your thoughts, your words, your actions, your habits are unconscious, and it's coming from those places. So until you bring the unconscious to the conscious, it will keep manifesting outside of you. And you'll be like, well, that's just fate. That's how it is. No, that's your fate that you're creating from an unconscious place. So it takes a lot of work to do this. This is why you have to write. How are you going to piece together the complexity that is you without some kind of plan, without some kind of action? This is why it's so important to start to ask these questions to gain some insight. This is where the archetype of the sage comes in, the wise elder, the old man, the guru, the wizard, and starts to show you the way. Sometimes you get lucky enough to meet these people in the real world. Sometimes you have to start to allow that archetype to move through you. And that's what introspection is. The wizard invites introspection into yourself. So start writing. Start with those 3 questions. Just do it for 1 month. It won't take you very long, and it can only help your life improve. The better you understand yourself, the better you'll understand your life. That's it. Because you are experiencing life, not something or someone else. It's you. So the better you are at understanding and experiencing this, the better your experience of this will be, because there isn't a difference. If you're looking for an even deeper topic to start writing about, there's a document that I've created that I give to all my clients when I start working with them, to start to figure out their why, their bigger dream for their life, what we call your one love. In the 1, 2, 3, 4 of holistic health, your one love is your overarching dream that's driving your life, because if you don't have that, it's going to be very hard to maintain any kind of stability. And when things get difficult, you need a alternative reservoir of energy to pull from. If you want that document, let me know in the comments and I will send it to you, so you can start piecing together your own life and start to understand what is it that you actually want to do? What is it that you actually love? And if you know those things already, how can you more clearly define them and refine them so that your daily actions start to build momentum towards that higher dream? Peace and love.